You know that moment when you launch something and you are convinced people are going to love it, whether it's a fundraiser, a email, a new campaign, whatever it might be. You launch it and there's absolute silence, crickets. I've been there, it's absolutely brutal. But those moments, that is exactly where you learn such a crucial lesson about nonprofit marketing. Do you have an audience or have you built a community? And those two things are not the same. There is a really big difference between building an audience and building a community. And in 2025, it's absolutely crucial that we are building communities around our nonprofit, around our cause, and around our impact. In this video, I'm breaking down 3 practical steps that you can take to stop building a passive audience, but rather start building a community that is connected and ready to take action for your cause. And hey, I'm Kelly, and welcome back to the Nonprofit Marketing Club, where I share real, practical, no fluff marketing strategies that you can use to grow your nonprofit's online presence. I came across a video recently shared by Grace Andrews of her speaking at a conference, and Grace is the brand director behind Flight Studios, the team of people that got the Diary of a CEO to over 1 million listeners and followers. And she said something about building a community and an audience that hit me right in the gut and made me realize that this is something that nonprofits totally struggle with. She said, if you build an audience when you launch something, it's crickets. But if you build a community, they'll show up. And isn't that exactly what we want as nonprofits? Not just likes, not just clicks, but people who feel so connected to your mission that when you say we need help or we need support, they are already there. And here's the kicker. According to the 2025 Nonprofit Communications Trend Report, while social media follower counts are going up, their effectiveness is actually decreasing. 53% of nonprofits saw their Instagram account grow, for example, but less than half of them said it was actually effective. Email, websites, in-person events, way more effective. But here is what that tells us. Community isn't something you just rent on social media. It's something that you own through email, through events, through personal connections and authentic engagement. So I really want to talk about that today. And I'm not saying you must throw out your social media marketing. Of course, that's important. But let's look at how you can build a community around your cause and not just a social media following or an audience. When I think of real community in action with regards to nonprofits, I immediately think of a monthly giving program. Now I know for so many nonprofits, monthly giving or a monthly giving program is often just a tick box on their donation form. Make this a monthly donation, yes or no. But what if it was so much more than that? What if it led to an actual experience? Your monthly donors are your people, your inner circle, your trusted ones. And if you treat them that way, if you bring them behind the scenes, name the group, send them things that no one else gets access to. You're not just building recurring giving revenue, but you're creating belonging. And I don't know about you, but I'd way rather have 100 true supporters than 10,000 passive followers who barely remember why they signed up in the first place. So let's talk about how you can build a community around your cause. As Grace puts it, this is step number 1, a value exchange. This is absolutely non-negotiable. And I want you to ask yourself, over the last 6 to 12 months, how have you made your supporters' lives better, richer, more connected? Not just you as the organization asking, but also you giving. And that doesn't just mean swag, branded merch. I'm talking about things like updates, reflections, and moments of shared purpose. When you pour into this community with value, when there is a value exchange, they will pour back into you. This value exchange could look like sharing a short video from the field, public shout outs to volunteers and donors, or perhaps it's a free resource, a webinar, or sharing supporter only insights. The second step, and one that Grace really recommends, is to build a community that allows for two-way communication. And this is often where a lot of nonprofits actually get stuck. Sharing a newsletter is great, but what about if there was a space you could share updates that allowed people to communicate back? You can't build connection by broadcasting a message. you can build it by having a conversation. So I want you to think of platforms that allow for a two-way communication. For example, you could create a Facebook group exclusive to your monthly donors, or perhaps your volunteers or past volunteers. You could use Instagram broadcast channels for quicker updates. And by the way, broadcast channels do allow for people to respond to your updates and interact with your content. Another way you can facilitate conversation is through inviting feedback on your emails. If you're sending out any kind of emails to your supporter base, start incorporating some kind of call to action that encourages people to reply. Now, when you share these kind of updates, it's so important that you don't just post and ghost. You've got to show up in whatever community space that you create. So if you create a Facebook group, for example, for your past volunteers, make sure that you yourself are sharing updates as the organization, that you're celebrating wins, that you're asking questions and responding, welcoming new members, you're active and engaged. That's what's important. Step number 3 is creating a place for belonging. And this is my favorite because you're not just trying to recruit new donors or volunteers, but you're recruiting members to your community. And these are people who feel connected to your cause, that they're part of something that is so much bigger than themselves. And this is about identity and belonging. Here are some ways that you can do that. Number 1, you can name your monthly giving program. Give it a name. Give people something that they can belong to. Another way you can create a place for belonging is to launch a supporter hub or an exclusive newsletter. Thirdly, you could send quarterly perks to your community or behind the scenes content that no one else has access to. Now, I really want to encourage you, if you do create a community on a platform like Facebook, or you decide to use Instagram broadcasts, I want you to keep your email list alive. Don't let the algorithm decide who sees your content. And I know this is challenging when you are juggling so many different things. Adding on a community, it just takes the craziness to another level. But don't sacrifice on some of your core marketing pillars, especially something like email where you own the list. So keep that list alive and well. And continue to send regular updates there as well. All right, let's bring it home. How can you build community around your nonprofit, around your cause? The first way is to lead with value. The second is to invite a conversation with your organization. And the third step is to create a place to belong, create that belonging. Now it is your move. Pick one thing that you can start doing today to go from audience to community. Maybe that's starting a private Facebook group, or it could be renaming your monthly giving program, or perhaps it's sending a surprise thank you email to your long-term donors. Just because these small steps can make a really big difference in helping you move from audience to connected, belonging, identifiable community. And if today's episode sparks something for you, leave me a comment. I would love to hear about it. And if you haven't already, definitely hit subscribe so you don't miss a future episode of the Nonprofit Marketing Club. It's been lovely hanging out with you. Until the next episode, keep doing amazing work and I will see you soon.